Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and welcome to today's Powerboost. So, we all grow up more or less with that whole idea because we all are good people, we want to be good people. And so we don't want to give sorrow. We don't want to do anything that causes harm or is in any way harmful to someone, right? So we all naturally pay attention to that, and we have the intention and that interest of doing good. But there's another aspect that is also very, very important in life, and we don't hear much about that. And that is not to take sorrow. Yeah. And so this is one thing that I've been learning over the recent years, and it's an ongoing journey, an ongoing process and learning, that I have a choice. I have a choice what I give, and I have a choice what to take, or if I take. Now, in terms of what is good and not so good, right and wrong, if my reference point is, let's say, I choose to be a happy person, I choose to be a loving person, I choose to be a kind person. If this is my reference point, then I will want to give something of that quality, and I want to receive something of that same quality in order to sustain that lovingness, that kindness, that sweetness, right? But what happens many times? This is a big, unlimited human family, right? Many, many different personalities, many, many different characters. And we are part of the play, and there are times where we also make mistakes, where we get upset, where we blame. So people also doing that. But an important aspect here is that if I can discern what is good for me and what is not good for me, what is it that I want to take from you into my heart? If you give me something, I still have a choice. I don't have to take it if I choose so. And so the taking now becomes more and more an aspect where I start to take responsibility for, like I'm responsible for what I give, right? Because whatever we do in life, everything there has consequences. And of course, the consequences of what I do will come back to me. So when it comes to taking or receiving, I also have that choice, and I have that responsibility to be selective. So if someone is making a comment, if someone is saying something about me, if something is happening in a relationship where words are spoken, gestures are made, body language is such that there is no respect given to me, for example. There are unkind words that are spoken. Maybe I'm rejected, disrespected. So typically what happens, whether it is positive or negative, but anything that someone expresses towards me, we take things personal. Now, this is kind of a default. But if I now come to know that I actually do not have to take things personal. if I take responsibility for myself, I am responsible to uphold a vision for myself. How do I see myself? And of course, it's a positive way. So I am the one who has to uphold that for myself. I have to remind myself. And if I do that, then I will not take into my heart, I will not take things personal that someone else expresses towards me. Ideally, when we get praised, we don't want to really, you accept it, but our feeling good is independent of the praise, right? And so someone says some unhappy words about me, or I get the look from someone, it becomes my responsibility to stay in my self-respect and not expect respect, for example. So when someone is under some influence, they don't have a good day, maybe they have a big problem in their life and they behave less than what they could be, maybe they need my support. But if I am dependent on them, then there will be a problem on both sides. And so not to take sorrow, not to take things personal means I choose to keep my heart happy. I choose what I want to take into my heart. And at the same time, the same thing is true what we said before. I want to give the best possible. And so how one little method, yukti, little trick, it's not a trick, but how is it possible to remain positive, to remain kind, loving, respectful, even though someone does not give that to me? Now, one we said is, I uphold my own mirror for myself, right? What I want to be in terms of my qualities, who I am. But then the second aspect is to maintain a positive outlook, a positive vision for someone who is performing less optimal, who are performing more on the negative side than on the positive side. And very simple, instead of immediately judging and making myself dependent, I need that respect. And if I don't give it to me, then I will punish you. I will get angry with you. But that's a problem, right? So what I need to change, the change is actually within my own self. I have to look at myself, and in my inner world, I'll transform my negative perception of the other one. So for that, we need to learn, okay, someone is doing or saying something is not very, very good. Their performance at that time is not very good. So what do I now need to do? Keep the light on, keep the hope alive. And instead of judging, criticizing, condemning, or, blaming, we are good in many of these things. Maybe can I have the thought, maybe this one is going through something temporarily or maybe over a longer period of time. They are under some influence. Maybe they are a little bit weak. They need a little bit of kindness, a little bit of love, right? And so maintaining a positive perception, not perceiving someone based on what they're doing, but see the light in them. And so if I take responsibility for myself, I have to learn to see the light in my own self, or my own light, meaning remain positive, right? And so then we are also able to do that in an exchange with others. And this is really worthwhile to look at and think about, because it's a matter of your own heart. If I want to keep my heart happy and light, I need to see the good, even though it's not expressed. And the change in my vision needs to happen within my own consciousness. How I perceive the other one is not so much of what that person is doing or did to me, or maybe they opposed me, maybe they caused me some pain in the past. But am I willing to change my perception and keep a positive outlook? That will help me and will help the other person, and also people will be happy with me. And I will be, first of all, happy with my own self. Okay, so let's do a meditation, a reflective meditative exercise. We sit comfortably and feel the support of the chair, how the body is supported by the chair. Just make a short acknowledgement of the environment you are in, and remind yourself that you are in a safe space, a safe environment. As I want for the next few moments, I want to turn within and leave the world temporarily behind. I disengage, I unplug my thoughts from what happened before or what will happen. I unplug them from different tasks. And it is as if I go beyond, transcend the ordinary, the mundane, the physical life, perception of life. And I connect to a much more subtle world within, the subtle world of feelings, of thoughts, of consciousness. And so within my own consciousness, I use the power of thought and the power to choose. And so I choose to have a thought of myself, for example, that I, the being, this living energy, I am a very lovely, sweet, and kind being. So from the human part, we are moving to the being part, and the being carries or has merged within all these beautiful qualities. So it is the power of thought and the power to choose to create a very lovely and kind image of myself. Just breathe into that creation and make it firm, make it a promise to the self to hold on to this inner beauty, these beautiful qualities that empower me, make me feel good. And the promise contains a determined thought. I use the determination to live up to my image, to hold through to how I see myself, how I believe in myself. And this means that these beautiful qualities also have to become visible through my words, the way I speak, through my actions, what and how I do something, and through my vision. Where do I keep looking at, and how? Am I taking, or am I bestowing, donating love through my eyes, kindness through my words, empowerment through my actions? If I stabilize in my own inner goodness, and I make it an aim and purpose in my life to express, reveal myself in this way, express this goodness, I will also have to look at others in the same light and help them to see their own light and help them to see and let them feel from their heart how easy it is to transform the negative into positive. We don't have to wait for no one and nothing. Simply use your power of thought, your power to choose, and with determination, get busy in fulfilling the promise you made to yourself. Om Shanti.